Hello, welcome back to our series, Behind the Scenes of Nautilus. I'm Commander Brad Boyd, Director of Submarine Force Museum, and Officer in Charge of Historic Ship Nautilus. This episode we're going into the sail. Now we're not going on the bridge like I said we would, just because when I pre-toured and did all the preps for it, I realized that there's too much stuff going on the sail. It's going to take too much time to climb over everything to try to do the sail and the bridge and give both of them justice. So we'll do the sail this episode and we'll finish with bridge next episode. One other thing, I realized that I made an error when I posted the video last week. Thankfully, none of you have pointed that out to me yet, but I'm sure that's coming. I misspoke on a couple of the access points. So the engine room access hatch vice the aft escape trunk. So I'll point that out with the video. We'll do a quick rundown topside real fast to clarify. It's just a lot easier to show on video than try to type in the comment section exactly what the problem is. So we'll do that with the video, and then we'll go into the sail. And I hope you all enjoy the tour. But with that, here we go. All right, so as I said, I got one correction to make. Just pointing out where the hatches are. I realized I made the mistake last time. Also, go wait for the Coast Guard helicopter to fly by here in a second. I'm not gonna be able to talk to you for a few seconds anyway, just given the noise of the helicopter blades. Yeah, we have the Coast Guard flies by a lot due to the Coast Guard Academy just down the way. All right, he's gone far enough. So that is the forward escape trunk. That is the weapon shipping hatch. That is the wardroom access hatch, or forward access hatch. That's the door to the sail. We'll go in there in a second. By the way, when we go into the sail, so you're going to see, we're not going to go to the bridge today. We're going to go through the sail. We'll do bridge next episode. It's just enough climbing through here. You'll go about through the sail to about this point here, right there. Really can't go any further back without some serious twisting. It'd be kind of hard for me to hold on to the camera and take you back there. But anyway, so going further back, this is where I messed up in the episode. I apologize for that. I just blanked as I was trying to explain things. This is not the aft escape trunk. This is the aft access hatch. So very much like the wardroom hatch, it's just an access trunk. There is no actual escape possibility from that one. It has no connections in there to press you up, no ability to pressurize the compartment, excuse me, the trunk, so that you can actually get out of the ship. That was the aft escape trunk area. We obviously removed it as part of the museum conversion. So while Nautilus is in service, that's where the aft escape trunk was. It got removed as part of the conversion. And so that's why Nautilus only has one escape trunk now. So, all right, but with that, we're gonna go into the sail. As you can see all up there, so you see those shroud coverings are like a seafoam green with black spots, almost like they're trying to do a camouflage type thing. That's kind of what it's supposed to be. Just help break up the sight of the thing. But anyway, you're going to see those shrouds inside of it. They're going to be all black because there's no point in painting them multiple colors on the outside. But actually on the inside of the sail. With that, we're going to go on in. So this is the access door to the sail. This grating here is access to the interior of the sail and to the bridge. And that hatch right there is access to the wardroom hatch. So, hold on a sec. All right. Sorry, pause for a second while I actually undid the chain to open this up. So this is the access to the attack center. Above, you would get up to the actual bridge up in there. So this ladder would allow them to have normal access all the way up into the bridge area, so that they could traverse this without exposing themselves to the elements through here. Taking a lot of wave slap up over the deck, then you don't want to necessarily go out this hatch to climb up that ladder over there. So you would go this route, and they would only open this door in the event that they're actually going to go topside. So, or for normal access during the day to and from the ship. So more of a door in. So, but that's that portion. Close this back up. And we're going to go back over here. So we're going into the actual sail here. So this is the trunk that you just looked at. That goes from the pressure hull down there. That's the pressure hull. And that trunk connects to it and goes all the way up to the bridge. So we're going to duck through here. It's a bit of a maze. You have to bear with me as I climb through some of this stuff. By the way, when you see stuff like this, that's to keep birds out. So we put that in after the fact as part of the conversion to keep small animals, specifically birds, from trying to fly in here and make a nest. So, all right, as you can see here, these are the Periscope. So this is the #1 scope. That's the #2 scope. So the navigation scope, and then the attack scope. So the navigation scope is the one that we actually looked at in the attack center episode, and then the attack scope is the one that had the mannequin at it and couldn't really see out it too well. So the navigation scope has better optics, bigger optics, and what I mean by that is more magnification. #1 scope does, or excuse me, the attack scope does not. However, the #1 scope or navigation scope, due to the bigger optics, has a bigger head window, so the opening at the top, and we'll see that next episode in the bridge. The #2 scope, the attack scope, has a thinner and is a taller aspect. But the poles themselves, as you can see, there's really not a difference. It's just a pole on up, and it's exact same size and everything else. The difference is in the window symbol at the top. In between, it's just a tube that's kept at vacuum to keep any moisture from being in there and mess up the optics. So, and you can see further up, all the way up. So that's the penetration way up there. So that's the very top of the sail. You can see how structures run in and out. So some of this stuff is just for most of the stuff, is just for structural support of the sail, as well as the masts that are in it. Down here, as you see here, that's the those are external hull fittings. So this allows electrical connections to go into and out of the ship. Some just used in port so that you run lines that way. Some used while at sea, depending on what you have connected throughout the sail. So that's that. As we go further back, so that's one of the communication masts. That's specifically that would be the one of the radio masts with the radar on top. Once again, you'll see that next episode. So. All right, and then into this section here. So these are communication masts, and then you can see right there the change between the pole here and a shroud there. That shroud, which goes all the way to the top, it's painted topside. So that's the part that's actually camouflage painted, that seafoam green and black spots, which is really just seafoam green and spots where it's not painted. So that's the shroud area. And that allows the mast to survive a little bit better when you're submerged at periscope depth and driving through, and you've got flow over the mast, so that it doesn't rip the mast off. It helps make it a little more hydrodynamic. It kind of fares it in, as well as it provides some extra support to distribute that pressure to let the scope, the mast survive a little bit better. So you got another mast here. It's the bottom connection. That's the rod that does the travel, and it starts connecting to the mast, and then all the way at the top, I don't know how you can see it, but there's a shroud starting up there. So more external hull fittings, ventilation piping. The ventilation piping goes towards that right there. That is the induction mast or the snorkel mast. So that's what allows you to bring air into and out of the ship. You have a couple more communication masts. So one there, that's that black part going straight up, and then one right there. So we're gonna climb into here next. Give me a second as I find better footage and don't drop the flashlight and the camera. So actually I'm gonna have two hands, so I'm gonna have to pause for a second. All right, so we're back. Got through that little spot. So this is the last section. So that's the induction mast I was telling you about. Communication masts, so you have one right here, one there, and one there. And so those masts have those shrouds like I was telling you about, and then set induction piping into the mast up in the back for the strobel mast. So, all right. And then more external hull fittings, ventilation piping, all of that is in back here as well. So, okay. You can kind of get a look up through here as well. All right, so back through, and yeah, I'm gonna have to pause for a second as I climb through. Join you in just a second. Okay, we're back. So finished climbing through. That's the number 2 scope, the attack scope from the back side. Climb under this. All right. That does it for our tour inside the lower portion of the sail. And then we'll go on up to the bridge area. So, well, I shouldn't say the bridge, the second portion. All right, so the next level up is more so for example, access lights, breaker, this electrical connection obviously did not exist when Nautilus is in service. Have a nice exposed breaker to be shorted out by seawater, that would be bad. So over here, once again, as I said, that wiring, keep birds and stuff from flying in. And then more of the periscopes, number 2 scope, number 1 scope, attack navigation, going further up. This area would only be used for work on the masts themselves. You would not man this for any reason really while at sea. Another shot up to the scope. Okay. Communication mast, so there's that shroud that I was telling you about. Nice up and close and personal with it. And that's where it connects. So this is the actual mechanism that raises and lowers, connects to that. So that's the hydraulic post there. And this is just the mast, so it goes up and down, and it just houses inside the sail. So, and then further back, more communication masts, not masks, and then further back in. All right, come on back forward. All right. Okay, that's gonna do it for this week. Next week, we'll finish the tour as we go on up into the bridge. Another just little sheet metal area, but going up into the bridge, and I'll see you then. Hope you all enjoyed the tour. Thanks for coming along. Bye.